News with Jim Redmond, Dave Scott, Tom Hyland, and the award-winning Channel 7 News team.
Good afternoon. I'm Bob Palmer. Your regular reporter, Jim Redmond, will be reporting in a moment from Loveland. One of the worst natural disasters in Colorado history occurred last night west of Loveland. Torrential rains east of Estes Park sent a wall of water down the Big Thompson Canyon between Estes Park and Loveland. The unofficial death toll is now 52, but officials fear that the number may be 3 or 4 times that great. An estimated 2,500 people were camping in the narrow canyon when water roared down upon them during the night. The daylight revealed hundreds of cabins, barns, cars, trucks, campers, and trailers in the river. Weather officials say 10 to 14 inches of rain fell in the area near Glen Haven and Drake, producing possibly the worst flood ever to hit the Big Thompson. Of those caught by the flood, many escaped by climbing the steep canyon walls. Others who tried to make it down the road were swept to their deaths. Highway 34, which skirted the river, was washed out for miles. In some areas, there is no indication that a highway ever existed. Rescue teams moved into the area during the night, and military helicopters began flying up the canyon at dawn today. At least 800 persons have been brought out during the day by land and air, many of them injured, all telling of the most horrible night of their lives. A temporary morgue has been established in Loveland as helicopters and horseback teams are still ferrying bodies out of the mountains. Still trapped are an estimated 300 persons in their cars who are stranded along a 4-mile stretch of road that remains intact. Rescuers have no way of guessing how many people may still be alive on the sides of the mountains bordering the river. The river has now receded, but it is still running from wall to wall down most of the 30-mile route from Loveland to Estes Park. Some vehicles were swept all the way past Loveland. There is no estimate of how many homes and cabins were taken out, but that number is high. Many permanent residents were warned in the night to flee, but most of those who were camped beside the river got their first warning when the water rose rapidly over the darkened campgrounds. Some survivors reported a 15-foot wall of water that hit at about 10 p.m. Telephone service to Estes Park has been knocked out, and the town's sewer pipes ruptured, sending raw sewage down the river along with everything else. In addition to the Big Thompson flood, high water was also reported along the Poudre River south of Estes, but the damage was comparatively light on the Poudre. Many smaller streams are out of their banks in and around Estes Park, and there is widespread minor flooding. The State Patrol says 2 smaller roads in that area have been closed, and the public is asked to stay away from the area and not to make any phone calls into the Loveland area where the circuits are jammed up. Recreational vehicles, cabins, homes, all piled up in the riverbed. Governor Richard Lamm, who spent much of the night and morning in the disaster area, has ordered 150 National Guardsmen to assist in the rescue operations which are still going on. A command post has been established in Loveland by the National Guard and the Larimer County Sheriff's Office, and officials say that this Centennial Day flood was one of the worst in terms of lives lost in state history. The Great Platte River flood in June of '65 caused a great deal more property damage, but took only a handful of lives. There were reports of high water, but no indication of any tragedy last night when producer Ernie Thornton finished work on his 10 o'clock news, and he and photographer Gary Amelon went to check, and they spent all night in the canyon.
A hastily assembled and shocked force of rescue workers began to gather about 9:45 last night as news of the flash flood spread through Big Thompson Canyon west of Loveland. They gathered at an inn about 1.5 miles east of a blockade where the water had washed away Highway 34. The sudden cloudburst created a giant wave of water that moved through the canyon, taking everything with it, and the chief of rescue operations asked for help.
10-4, can you call the sheriff's office in Fort Collins? We need the helicopter.
St. Anthony's Light helicopter arrived about midnight, and soon after began transporting divers back to the affected area, where they located hundreds of stranded campers and residents of the canyon who had to scramble for safe ground, but then had no place to go.
Our problem is that our helicopters are meeting so much turbulence up there and we can't get them down. We've located people that are stranded in the river. We have 2 stranded deputies up there. One of them lost a car. They're helping people out now. We have some underwater people, swimmers and divers that we pushed in with helicopters. We have 2 highway patrolmen stranded up in there that are helping people also. I believe they lost a car also. There was quite a wall of water that came down, and very little notification was we weren't able to get into many of the outlying areas.
The hundreds who were trapped along the Big Thompson used headlights and flashlights to signal to the helicopter above, but the rescue operations would have to wait until morning. Gusty winds, darkness, and the torrential downpour left the chopper helpless.
We've had several people float down the river. We haven't been able to recover anybody yet. We don't know exactly where these people are, if they're okay or not. It's kind of a unique situation. It happened too fast for us to really be organized. So right now we're having a hard time finding exactly who's missing. And I'm sure that'll fall out in the morning, but right now it looks pretty bad.
In the light of morning, it looked even worse. Uprooted trees and debris floated down the river, along with the remnants of what used to be campgrounds, trailer parks, and small communities. There were cars, propane tanks, refrigerators, TV sets, horse trailers, and campers strewn along the swollen river. The Cedar Cove area, 2 miles west of Loveland, was virtually torn apart, and residents who made it out said they only had 5 to 10 minutes warning before being hit by a tidal wave-like 10-foot-high wall of water. Drake, a settlement between Loveland and Estes Park, was left in shambles. But at least now, 10 helicopters were ferrying people out of the disseminated narrow canyon. It was a constant stream of injured and exhausted people who arrived in a pasture that served as a temporary heliport. Some of the evacuees clutched waterlogged dogs as they left the rescue helicopters. Others, who could not walk, were carried away on stretchers. Some were given first aid emergency treatment on the scene, while others were immediately taken to hospitals in Loveland and Fort Collins. The lucky ones who were not injured were taken to Loveland High School. There they ate, slept, or just waited in stunned silence. The number of dead was mounting, and no one knew for sure where the count would finally stop. But many people had to bear the agony of not knowing about the fate of loved ones. Cliff Dykeman was with his wife and 3 daughters below Estes Park when the storm struck.
We went fishing. The rain came, and we packed our women up. They came back in, started back in, and another rain came, and we stayed and waited that one out about 45 minutes. We started out, they cut us off. We went back over 7 into Denver, and they're up there somewhere in the valley. We hope. Still on the road.
No word yet.
No word at all.
For the news, this is Ernie Thornton reporting west of Loveland.
Joining me in the studio just moments ago is Governor Richard Lamm. And Governor, this is one of the worst things of its kind that I ever recall in Colorado. And I know you must be exhausted. You were up all night up there and most of the day today.
The magnitude of it, of course, is still unknown. I think that's one of the problems, is that the death rate could double and double again. We just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Could you describe in your own words what you saw when you were up there in the early hours this morning?
I think we were probably one of the first helicopters over it, and I think the most frustrating thing is how many people were so obviously in need of help and waving to us. There was no way we could get the big helicopter we were in down there.
Were they on the sides of the mountain waving?
A number of people were on the side of the mountain where they had scrambled up for safety. There was the cars were just a mishmash. There must have been, we could see 60 or 70 different cars, many of them with the headlights still on. And you just don't know whether people are in them. That's the terrifying thing. You just had no idea. The large numbers of groups of people, but the amazing thing is that it almost doesn't look like there's a road there. You look down there and you couldn't believe that last night there was a road there.
Yeah, we've had estimates that it may take 3 years to get that road back in because it's gone.
It's just plain
They're going to have to cut it away. You ordered a National Guard in. You've got 150 National Guardsmen up there. How many helicopters are involved?
Well, we took up First Light. We took 3 helicopters up there. It's also great contributions for a number of other private businesses and other things. Just moved helicopters in there. We don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
But we ordered, immediately, at 3:30 in the morning, we authorized 1 company of MPs, and plus, which arrived shortly after Light. We had a number of helicopters. The problem really is that we had enough personnel up there. The problem was just getting in there.
No way to get in there. The road is gone, and there's just a limited number of helicopters. Well, I know you're mobilizing all state resources now, and we'll be able to do as much as the state can for the survivors and the property owners and whatnot, but there's...
The individual acts of courage up there, I'm sure, that played out last night are going to be continued stories for the next month. There are some great people that came out of any disaster situation.
Governor, let me volunteer the services of Channel 7. If there's anything we can do in the way of communications or reaching the public, just let us know.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Among the survivors of the flood was one including was a fellow named Gary Watts and his family. They were vacationing in the canyon about 8 miles from Estes when the waters came. Watts and his wife Debbie and their daughter Cindy survived, but their baby Aaron is still missing. The family was in the cabin. They said they were watching it rain, and then the water began to come in under the door, and it got higher and higher until the cabin washed away.
We were inside, and when it went, the whole cabin just completely, just like a tinker toy, just disintegrated. We were down under the water, and next thing I knew, I was in the water, but I was able to walk out. The wife and I and the little girl and baby were okay.
What kind of condition is everybody in?
Pretty good, really, except Debbie's got a rather bad cut on her arm that they're having to operate on.
And how about your children?
They're fine, except for Aaron.
Did you lose him in the water?
Yes.
Your regular Sunday reporter, Jim Redmond, has been covering the flood cleanup and all the rescue effort from a spot outside Loveland where our Instacam truck can beam a signal back to Denver. And here's that report. Jim?
Bob, about the last thing the people up here trying to cope with this disaster need is more rain, and that's just what they're getting now. More rain squalls are moving into the Loveland area. But one of the most difficult problems that officials have here, outside of the weather problem, is figuring out just how many people were up in that canyon at the time that flood roared down on them. So far, they've rescued somewhere near 800 people, most of the 800 with one injury or another to their bodies, a lot of arms hurt, a lot of cuts and bruises, that sort of thing. At last report, there were somewhere between 49 and 60 people dead. They still aren't sure exactly how many dead there are and may not for several days in what is apparently the worst flood in Colorado history. Rescue operations have been going on all day with National Guard and civilian helicopters operating out of 2 emergency helipads just west of Loveland. Governor Lamm has declared this a major disaster area and has sent in 150 National Guard troops to help the Larimer County Sheriff's Office. Apparently, all the water supplies in the Big Thompson River Canyon from Estes Park to Loveland have been contaminated, and people are being urged to boil all water before use. There's been some trouble with onlookers coming up here to see what's going on. Authorities ask that everyone stay away and watch the coverage on television. Onlookers here are just impeding the rescue efforts. This afternoon, leaflets were dropped in the Big Thompson Canyon advising advisors to mark out an A on the ground if medical attention is needed, an F if they need food, a W for water, and an OK if everything's all right. Survivors are also being advised to form groups and get to high ground as more rain and flooding is expected tonight.
We'll continue to fly in there as long as we can tonight. Our pilots are getting overextended. We're going to have to pull them out shortly. Early in the morning, we hope to have another 3 Chinooks in there. They seem to be the best adapted to this area, and we can cut our time in half, they tell us, with those.
If we get another heavy rainfall like the one last night that touched off this flash flood, what do you think the outcome will be? Will you be able to cope with that?
We hope by that time we'll have spread the word by word of mouth and by scattering these 48 people in elements and groups up through the canyon area to get the people up into higher ground to set themselves up for a stay up there. And then if we have to get in and feed them from air or whatever it takes tomorrow, that's what we'll be doing.
A number of politicians, including Governor Lamm, Senator Gary Hart, and Congressman Jim Johnson have been here and will be working on getting disaster relief funds for this flood-stricken area in the aftermath of this incredible flash flood devastation. Our man Richard Riggs is up in Big Thompson River Canyon right now at Glen Haven, one of the hardest hit areas. It's reportedly been nearly totally wiped out. Richard hopefully will be able to get film out of there for our news reporter later on tonight. If not, why, he'll just stay up there until morning when we'll be able to get him out along with all the other people, Bob.
Jim, the film we've seen, and from what you say, indicates that the water had to have come down that canyon with tremendous force.
I'm sorry, Bob, I couldn't quite hear you. A chopper just went over the... Would you repeat the question, please, Bob?
Oh, you couldn't get it? I say from what we have seen and heard, Jim, the water had to have come down the canyon with incredible force.
Yes, it did. Obviously, it wiped out everything in its path. It's incredible when you think about what happened up here. A flash flood with 10 inches of rain in Estes Park roaring down that canyon. In fact, the sheriff told a reporter that it completely bounced the Loveland Municipal Power Station, a brick building, right off its foundation, just wiped it away. It's incredible. You wouldn't believe it if you saw it.
Okay, Jim, keep us posted from Loveland. Thank you very much for a good report. Denver police say that the high water has now moved into the Denver metropolitan area this afternoon. Many intersections in the eastern part of the city are now underwater. I-70 had to be closed about an hour ago due to flooding in the tunnel under the Stapleton runway. Officers hope to have the interstate open again during the next few minutes. Fire department crews, all available units, have spent the afternoon answering calls for help in the flooded areas of eastern Denver. Unofficial rain measurements include several reports of 2 to 3 inches falling in an hour. The rains came to the Denver area last night and early today. They caused general flooding in the eastern portions this afternoon. Stapleton Airfield, bad hit. The pools of water 6 to 8 inches deep, forcing the closing of runways and ramps. And at about the same time, Stapleton Tower reported their loss of radar. That was about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and the radar at the field is still out. Jerry Schomp, the Stapleton operations manager, tells Channel 7 that water leaking into equipment and possibly a lightning strike are the causes for the radar conking out. All the commercial departures have now been halted, but they are expected to be resumed shortly. The number of incoming flights has been reduced because of the high water and the lack of radar. The FAA's Longmont Control Center is now giving an assist with extra flight controllers being called in. The hardest hit sections include those in the vicinities of 19th and Chester, the 1300 block of South Moline, and the Mayfair Shopping Center at 14th and Jersey out in Windsor Garden. So it is quite a day of weather. More thunderstorms all over Colorado this afternoon, and Dave Scott tells us a little about that. David?
Bob, right now there is a nearly stationary front extending from southeastern Colorado to north central Colorado with a southwesterly flow of moisture aloft and an easterly flow of moisture on the surface, creating the situation that picks up the moisture, and there's plenty of it. Severe thunderstorm warnings were issued for counties extending from southeastern Colorado right on up into portions of Elbert County, and these counties included Denver, Arapahoe, Jefferson, and other counties in our area, and the severe thunderstorm warning is out until about 6 o'clock this evening for this area. The chance of moisture 50% tonight, and there's the possibility of local flooding through this night and possibly into tomorrow, Bob.
Thank you, David. So wherever you live in Colorado, this is a good night to keep your eyes open and your ears as well. We could have more flash flooding. Colorado Highway Department officials are admittedly stunned by the damage to US 34 and Big Thompson Canyon. They now know that nearly all the highway is gone, with few signs that there ever was a road in the narrowest and steepest parts of the canyon, known as the Narrows, a 3-mile section about midway between Loveland and Estes Park. So severe is the damage that one Highway Department employee in Greeley says it could take 2 or 3 years to get this road reopened. The cost would be in the millions. Near the mouth of the canyon, the Bureau of Reclamation's siphon that handles Big Thompson Project irrigation water was knocked out by the flood, but Deputy State Engineer Bill Mattern believes there is adequate storage in Horsetooth Reservoir to handle the needs of farmers for the remainder of the season. And another note, the Denver Symphony concert scheduled in Red Rocks Park tonight has now been moved downtown to the City Auditorium Theater. Concert begins at 8 o'clock. And have film, hopefully, from one of the most devastated areas at 10. Nice to have you with us on TV7.